It's a moment replayed millions of times. The roar of a stadium, the bright lights of a world-famous band, and the roving eye of the Jumbotron, searching for a little connection. For most people, it's a few seconds of harmless fun. But for one man, a high-flying tech CEO, those few seconds became a complete and total nightmare. This is the story of how a Coldplay concert, a kiss cam, and one awkward hug allegedly cost a man his career and his reputation and turned him into a global meme. The man was the CEO of a billion-dollar company. The woman was his head of HR. The kiss cam at a Coldplay concert put them on the big screen for the whole world to see. It cost him his job and turned him into a public spectacle. But the story doesn't stop there. Now, rumors are flying that he's planning to sue the very band that put him on that screen. Coldplay. And if that lawsuit actually happens, it could challenge the rules of privacy for all of us. Before he became a meme, Andy Byron was the picture of corporate success. He wasn't a household name, but in the world of enterprise software, he was a major player, a leader who had climbed the ranks at big-name tech firms like Cybereason and Lacework. His career was just a series of wins, known for driving huge growth and helping companies hit that billion-dollar mark. In July of 2023, he landed the top job, CEO of Astronomer, a fast-growing data company valued at over $1 billion. Astronomer isn't a company you'd see in a Super Bowl ad, but it's a critical piece of the data puzzle for major businesses, powering everything from analytics to AI. Byron was at the helm of this quiet giant, living with his wife and 2 children in Massachusetts. His professional life seemed like one victory after another. He even brought on Kristen Cabot, a respected HR executive, as his chief people officer in November 2024 to help manage the company's culture during what he called a transformative period. By all accounts, he was at the absolute peak of his career, a powerful executive leading a billion-dollar company with a personal net worth estimated in the tens of millions. He had everything to lose. And in just a few seconds, under the lights of Gillette Stadium, he did. The scene was a Coldplay concert in Foxborough, Massachusetts, on a Wednesday night. A massive stadium, packed with tens of thousands of fans. As part of the show, the stadium's Jumbotron fired up the kiss cam. The camera scanned the crowd, and, for one fateful moment, it landed on Andy Byron and Kristen Cabot. The video that would soon explode online shows Byron hugging Cabot from behind. For a second, they seem to be enjoying the show, but then you see the look of panic cross their faces as they spot themselves on the massive screen. Cabot quickly turns and buries her face, while Byron awkwardly ducks out of the frame. It's a moment of pure, cringeworthy awkwardness, but it was the commentary from the stage that really lit the fuse. Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, narrating the segment, joked to the entire stadium, either they're having an affair or they're just really shy. That was all it took. The internet had the clip. Within hours, it blew up on TikTok, X, and Reddit, pulling in tens of millions of views. Online sleuths quickly identified the pair as the CEO and HR head of Astronomer. The story became irresistible when social media users pointed out that both Byron and Cabot were reportedly married to other people, adding a layer of scandal. The public reaction was fast and brutal. The whole thing was nicknamed Coldplaygate, and the memes spread like wildfire. The professional fallout was just as quick. Back at Astronomer, a full-blown crisis was underway. The company, which talked a big game about its values, was in a public relations nightmare. An official statement confirmed that the board of directors had launched a formal investigation. Both Byron and Cabot were placed on administrative leave. But the pressure was just too much. Just days after the concert, Astronomer announced that Andy Byron had resigned, and the board had accepted. The company's statement was blunt. Our leaders are expected to set the standard in both conduct and accountability, and recently, that standard was not met. In less than a week, a kiss cam gag had ended the career of a billion-dollar company's CEO. In the chaos that followed his resignation, a news story started bubbling up online. Rumors began to spread that Andy Byron wasn't just stepping down, he was planning to fight back. Viral posts claimed Byron was thinking about suing Coldplay and the concert organizers. The supposed reason? Invasion of privacy, with one post claiming he felt a private moment was turned into a public spectacle without his consent. Another, wilder rumor even suggested Byron was claiming the video was AI-generated. These rumors added a juicy new chapter to the saga, the fallen CEO seeking revenge on the rock band that helped bring him down. It brings up a fascinating legal question. Do you really have any expectation of privacy in a public place like a concert? On one hand, you could argue that while you agree to be in a crowd, you don't agree to be singled out, broadcast, and ridiculed in a way that destroys your career, especially when a celebrity on stage adds fuel to the fire. A hypothetical case for Byron would probably argue that the organizers and the band should have known better than to expose someone to that kind of targeted humiliation. But the case against him is probably a lot stronger. Anyone who's ever bought a ticket to a big concert or sporting event has agreed to the terms and conditions, usually without reading them. Buried in that fine print is almost always a disclaimer. These statements make it clear that by entering the venue, you consent to being filmed and having your image used for broadcast or promotion. Gillette Stadium is no exception. Legal experts say these ticket disclaimers would make a privacy lawsuit incredibly difficult to win. The defense would be pretty simple. By buying a ticket and showing up, Byron likely waived his right to privacy for this exact situation. It's important to be clear. So far, these legal threats are just rumors. No official lawsuit has been filed by Andy Byron against Coldplay or anyone else. He has made no public statements since the incident. The AI-generated video claim seems to be nothing more than online chatter, and the company even had to shoot down a separate fake apology letter that was making the rounds. So, while a courtroom showdown sounds dramatic, the legal reality is that Byron probably doesn't have much of a case. This whole mess really makes you think about where we draw the line between public fun and private life. The law might be on the venue's side, but is it fair? When you go to a concert, are you really signing up to become the next global meme? And does a celebrity on stage have a responsibility not to amplify a moment that could ruin a private citizen's life? The fallout was very real, but the legal case is murky at best. So what do you think? Does the CEO have a leg to stand on, or is this just the price you pay for a ticket these days? Let us know in the comments. The Andy Byron story is more than just another viral flameout. It shows just how unforgiving the internet can be and how blurry the line between our personal and professional lives has become. He went from a successful, under-the-radar CEO to a global punchline in just a few hours, a spectacular fall triggered by one public misstep. His wife reportedly had to change her name on social media and delete her account because of the public backlash. His professional future is now a huge question mark, shadowed by a digital embarrassment that will follow him everywhere. The incident points to a pretty scary reality. In a world where everyone has a camera and every event is potential content, there are very few truly private moments left. The legal rules we have, based on ticket disclaimers and old ideas of public space, feel completely out of date for the speed and scale of social media shaming. While no lawsuit has actually been filed, the rumors alone force us to ask some big questions. Should there be new rules for how our images are used by big companies and event organizers? What responsibility do performers have when they turn a spotlight on a private individual? Andy Byron didn't just lose his job because of what he did, but because of how it was seen. And today, that perception, broadcast to millions in a heartbeat, has become a brutal new reality.